I am the man who takes people out into the field and has them either live interact with or I went to Sasquatch. It's my first February show of 2022. Welcome. Man, are things going amazing and great. The expeditioners are all lined up. There's so much I have to announce. This is not for if you're in the field of Bigfoot or you know about Bigfoot, this is going to be a banner year, even if the discovery is not precipitated itself. This is going to be a year that 2022 is a year we are never going to forget. I'm going to do something bigger than what I did with Survivor Man, bigger than showing Jeff Meldrum a Sasquatch. It's going to be bigger. And those things may happen again. But I'm going to do something it's already coming into play, guys. It's already been organized. Um I I'm not allowed to talk about the details of it. It's really big deals are happening. There'll be new documentaries and just it's really about getting boots on the ground in the field this year. It's going to be absolutely mind-boggling, staggering, amazing, fantastic. I'm so excited. So just working out the details of all that stuff, and yeah, there's I really have to keep a lot of this stuff quiet because I can't. Yeah, I just can't talk about some of these things that are going on right now, and I apologize for that. But I'm not trying to be secretive. It's a simple fact of um, talking about it right now would potentially damage. It's actually it's like this. Those dudes who are going to harm a Sasquatch, kill Sasquatch, they went and blah 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 blah, and now they've lost everything. They are not going to ever harm a Sasquatch, or they're not going to harm the Sasquatch I had planned to because they went and blattered about it, and now they told me all their plans, and now I'm going to end it. And so that's an example of how the opposite, right? The opposite happened. Uh, they told me about what they were going to do, and I stopped a tyranny, but that can work in reverse, right? I'm doing something great, somebody can try to stop me and do damage to me. And I'll also tell you guys this. So tomorrow's Thursday, and hello from Portugal. I think it's my first Portugal. That's so cool. Welcome. Yeah, I've never seen. I mean, we our show goes all over the world. It's awesome. Japan, Australia is regular, UK is regular, but all over the United States and Canada. But anyways, Portugal is really cool. What was I saying though? Oh, I'll make an announcement. Watch the Throwback Thursday tomorrow because I'm going to put up a photograph. I went and found me a photograph. So you have to understand, I don't like blob squatch stuff. I can't stand it. I promised myself a long time ago, if I didn't have an incredible crystal clear photograph, I wasn't going to put it up there. But I did a video about is this a deer hunting a Sasquatch? And I put that up. It's a very unclear video and photograph of a Sasquatch, and people loved it. And what happened was I went out on an expedition and we had all this incredible success. The Sasquatch was following us around, like happens a lot. And then an expeditioner shot a photograph of a Sasquatch that's like, and I know this Sasquatch, call him Red. So he's got like a reddish tinge to him, and it's like when you see Jane, which is video 4, she looks red because of the direct sunlight. She's brown, like she's dark brown. It's only the sun. She when I see her normally, she's dark brown at the very least. I would consider her like medium dark brown, and then Jake, who's video 5, is really dark brown, like as dark brown as you can get before you go black. And Red is red. I mean, he's just the top of his head's red, ish. Don't get too red. It's reddish brown though. I'm not gonna. Maybe I shouldn't call him red, but it's red ish. So you'll see it tomorrow because I'm gonna put that video up. I'm gonna put a photograph up. I'm gonna talk about that. Hello, Central Michigan Bigfoot. Oh, Bigfoot and Wildlife. I was gonna, yeah, Central Michigan. I used to thought it was Central Michigan Wildlife and Bigfoot, but it's Bigfoot and Wildlife. Good day. Thank you very much for tuning in. Todd, Jake, and Jacob here. Give us a shout out. That's so funny because Jake is my video 5 Sasquatch, and then Jacob is the Sasquatch that's coming around and giving me excellent results right now. He's Jake's little brother, so I was going to kick out of those two guys. Hey, I named Jake and Jacob before I met Jake and Jacob, so there's a shout out to you guys, right? Hello, Drew. Hello, Swamp Bottom Living. Cool. Swamp Bottom Living. Man, the swamps are so beautiful, aren't they? For people that don't know the swamps, they're so gorgeous. I love them. I was in the Florida Everglades, and I just thought it was amazing. Shadow Guardian. So Shadow Guardian says, Todd, love your work. Did you name yourself Shadow Guardian because Sylvanic means Shadow Guardian of the Mountain? Sa is Shadow, Nuck is, no, Sa, Van, Nuck. So Sa is shadow, Van is to guard and protect something, and Nuck is the mountain. So shadow, guardian of the mountain. So, and I believe that's it's an Assiniboine, First Nations and Assiniboine language. My native teacher called them that. So, how was the truckers' convoy? It's still going on. We're not going to talk about COVID and stuff today, guys. There's so much of that going on. There's other platforms for it. I know it's important, but it's very important. It's only freedom. Maybe I should be talking about it. It's only the freedom of the people to go and do things. But that's really, I, we're going to have different opinions on that. I just want to stick with my people. Need to stay laser focused on the Sasquatch stuff because Sasquatch is what it's all about. Jeffrey Rizzo has a photograph of Art Bell, who was a friend of mine, mentored me for quite a few years too. I really had a good relationship with him. It says, "Hey Todd, a few weeks ago I asked about Bigfoot culture. In your answer, you said Bigfoot have possessions. What kind of possessions do they have?" I'm going to talk about it. So I don't know if I've ever talked about this before, but I just like being transparent. So Jane has a bone necklace, and the bone necklace. Oh, I shouldn't be getting into this. I'm not going to get into it too much. That was a lot of information. So it's really personal to do with that. But other possessions, just as an example, um, they had a stick that they like a it's like a spear, and what they do is they spear salmon with it every year, and it's a possession. So I have no doubt about it because every year I see that. What happens is when the salmon come out, the Sasquatch take that spear and they leave it on that rock. I don't know why they leave it there, but they do. And this rock, I mean, it's just where the salmon are spawning, right? And so they spear the salmon with it, and then I've seen a Sasquatch carrying that spear. I won't call it a stick; it's a spear because it's really sharpened at one end. Even how they sharpened it, right? They must have used some kind of tool to sharpen it, and they won't pick up metal and they won't pick up a knife, so they're using rocks or something to sharpen it. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be hard for them to find sharp rocks. It's the Rocky Mountains, but so that's a possession for sure. What else? That's it actually. But the bone necklace is a pretty big deal. So it's elk hide and it's got rabbit legs, and the rabbit legs have this. They're shaped like that, right? This bone of the rabbit, and they turn them like this to make a design. So one bone's like this, one bone's like that, one bone's like this, and they're all tied together with elk hide. And when Jane runs, it goes. You can hear it rattle on her. So um, that's amazing. I mean, Jane is like a shaman. That's video 4, the female that I filmed in radium, and it's no coincidence. So I don't have a lot of sightings of females, especially Jane. It was just like destiny that it was her that I got the footage of. I, I, I could literally I could make a documentary about what it took to get that footage of video 4. It's literally a documentary, so I'm not going to get into details, and I talked about it quite a bit. But I just think it was very fortuitous that it's Jane who is so special and so interactive with me that and she's coming back and interacting with me more and my group more as she's gotten older. I mean, that was shot in what, 2010, I think. That's a long time ago, right? That's 10 years ago. And I think she was probably, maybe 14, 15 at the time. I'm really speculating. And that could be really plus or minus 5 years because I don't know. But I think she was a teenager, and now obviously she's up in her 20s, and she's amazing. She's like a shaman. She's got shaman power, like a female shaman. Because I'll tell you, with what I see with the males is when the big male comes around, he's the boss. He yells, he says something, and they listen. It's not like that with Jane. Jane doesn't listen to dad. She's got a special get out of jail free card, if you want to call it that. She does whatever she wants. She breaks the rules. She comes around. She interacts with me in a very special way. And she's especially doing that now because I have an expeditioner, dream come true. I have multiple expeditioners that are having success with different individuals. Matt's got the 11-inch track. Darren's got his own special thing going on, and Ashley has Jane coming around all the time. And Ashley and Jane, I'm excited for them to have their own little relationship. So it's very exciting for me to guide people out into the wilderness and then help them on their own journey because it's really I don't know. It's like I'm a trainer of Sasquatch interaction people. That doesn't make sense. I train people to help them and guide them to get closer to Sasquatch, and then with the hopes of them going on their own journey. Because it could be Matt that makes the discovery. It could be Bob, something special happens. It could be Ashley, it could be Dad, it could be anybody. So it's all about the discovery happening. And if it's not with me, it could be with somebody else. Because everybody's different. Everybody's so special. And all these people, even like I could go on all day. Stefan had an amazing thing. Andy did all this incredible stuff. There are people that I can't even talk about, and I see the evolution of people. Craig is crazy and he's wild and he's got all these things. And then Logan is calm and got serenity. You just never know when a Sasquatch. I remember being on an expedition with Jonathan, who's a U.S. Ranger or a former U.S. Ranger, military Ranger. And I remember him and I were just alone. And we had a moment, and we saw what looked like a Sasquatch walk right out. Boom! And we were just like, and it was a black horse. It was a wild horse. Just the way that the horse walked out at an angle, and then he had his ass, and then we saw it moving, and we were just. It was far away, and there were trees a little bit. But I remember that moment of you just never know when a Sasquatch is going to walk out on you and just expose himself, and that when you have that moment. So, and you never know who it's going to be with and who gets their sighting. So, and for me, there's no ego about it. I just want to cooperate. So, hi from Georgia Mountains. Hi, Todd. Where and when was the first time you saw a Sasquatch? Video two was the first time I ever saw. First time I ever saw a Sasquatch. I got to film it. So, but it was years of hard work and determination by my colleague and friend and one of my teachers, a biologist from Great Falls, Montana, a second generation Sasquatch researcher. He set it all up. He was the one that designed it all and made it all happen. When am I coming to Maine? I have no plans to come to Maine, and it pains me to say that because man, I would love to go there. I love lobster, and I hear so many good things about it, but I have no plans as of yet. I'd love to start touring. I'd love to start doing seminars, just the Discovering Bigfoot seminar. I don't need to go to a summit or anything like that. So I'd like to do that, but I need to get more success. I need to grow. I need to keep evolving, and this is going to be an awesome year. This year, it's just about precipitating results that are going to blow your mind, like really, really getting results. Tight. Um, but anyways, it was a good experience, and now I know that about a polygraph, right? I'll always be the polygraph test. If I beat a polygraph test, what the hell would that be compared to DNA? What would that be compared to showing Jeff Meldrum, showing Survivor Man? It wouldn't really be great evidence. So, and there'll always be that little thing at the end, and I don't want that caveat. He's telling the truth or he's a pathological liar. So I don't like it. Just I don't know. It's just not something I'm interested in doing right now. I really like. I'm telling my son Sasquatch are real. I raised my little boy. So and Jeff Meldrum and John Benedigo and Survivor Man are amongst three people that there's literally 24 people that I have relationships like that with. Those men are special though, the way they came forward, they stood up for the truth, they told the truth, and they really helped move the discovery forward for the Discovering Bigfoot project significantly. And what my point is though is I adore Survivor Man. He's a hero of mine. Jeff Meldrum and John are heroes of mine. If I'm lying to my son and I'm lying to these great men who are my heroes, I'm a pretty awful person, right? So um, I just, and if you think I'm an awful person, I don't know. I couldn't do that. Like I treasure those men. I treasure what they did with me. I treasure the working relationships I have with them or had in John Benedigo's case. And, you know, so I'm telling, I'm just, it is what it is, guys. And I'm confident, true, that this discovery is going to come forward. When it comes forward, they'll see tree breaks and structures and upside down trees and the tracks and the morphology of the foot that Jeff has it done and the photographs that I have will all be substantiated as absolutely real and legit. It'll all just come together. It'll all make sense. And yeah. So here's a good one. Joseph says, how did you figure out that the Sasquatch call themselves Boom? I heard you say they call you Cough Cough. Have you ever figured out words? No, I haven't figured out any words with them. Or have they given any other names to people besides you? Yes, man, that's a smart. You almost answered your own question. So I noticed that they would make a sound with somebody, and it seemed to be, but there was always a boom. Like to me, they go boom, and then boom, boom, boom. They were even calling Survivor Man something, but I'm not going to talk about that because he and I need to go discover that. So they had a name for Survivor Man, and we'll talk about that with him. But what I can talk about to show you what was the straw that broke the camel's back is I was on expedition with this gentleman, and I just bought my electric bikes. And electric bikes, they came out in their boxes, and they had these enormous boxes. These boxes were like 6 feet long. So he took up one of the tops of the boxes, and he had this 6 foot long piece of cardboard. And in the morning, he'd like to start the fires. So he got up just before me, and he'd be out there, and he'd be starting the fire, and I could hear him in the trailer. I could hear him go whoo, whoo, like the sound of the cardboard. It sounded like a big eagle's wing flapping. He used that to fan the fire. So, and he did that every morning. So about his fourth day on the expedition, he's a very religious man, and he was out and he was praying, and he had his little shrine, and the Sasquatch admired that, and the Sasquatch came up to him. I was about 45 yards away from him. He has a little shrine. He was praying to it. The Sasquatch came up to him and went boom. That was the last straw. So we had that sighting, we had that interaction. It was incredible. We went and saw the track. We saw the footmark of the boom, and I was there going. He went. I go. That sounded so familiar. Why am I thinking that sound? And he goes, yeah, I have no idea. And then I remember, I just stopped for a second. I go, wait a second. In the morning, you fan the fires. And it goes, he goes, yeah. They went, they call you the fanning sound of the fire. And it was meet, boom. And it's happened with multiple other expeditioners. They find a name to call that person based on what they do, and then they boom. It's always the boom. So and it's more than that too. Now that I've made that realization, I've had native people tell me that they call themselves the boom. There's a lake where it was called like Sasquatch Lake, but the translation was wrong. It was Boom Lake. The native people named it Boom Lake, meaning the Sasquatch are the boom, and then we white translated it to Boom Lake, and it's just Sasquatch. It means Sasquatch Lake. But I've seen all these little cues over the years, and when they're around, they want you to know they go boom, 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 right? So they're just announcing themselves. It's we're here. It's the boom. And it's a very when you understand nature and you see when I show expeditions how impossible it is to make that sound unless you're a monster. Huge quads, monstrously powerful feet. You have to be an absolute beast to make that. Like I don't know if an elephant could make that sound. It's that powerful. Boom. Just makes an indentation in the ground. And even recently, I was on a radio show, and the guy had one encounter with a Bigfoot once in his life. His encounter was he heard boom, 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 and then he went and he saw 3 tracks. He's like, "How come there's only 3 tracks?" I go, "Because there were 3 stomps." He stomped as hard as he could 3 times to let you know he's there, to tell you the boom is there, and he didn't stomp on the ground. If it was the ground hard packed, he goes, "Yeah, it was really hard packed." Well, he stomped for 3 tracks, then he just walked away. Oh. And 20 years he's been telling this story to people, and nobody could figure it out. They're the boom. So that's my evidence. That's some of my evidence. It's a lot. So and I'm very confident in that. Hey Todd, do you think Sasquatch are interdimensional beings? Absolutely not. I'm 99% convinced they're not. So nameless preacher, how to go to heaven. Thanks, Todd. Mike from St. Mary's. Hello, Royal Creations. Good day, sir. Hello from Maine again. Hi Todd, got Sasquatch recorded grunting. I gave him a curly fries. He didn't like them? Lenita. Huh. Yeah, I'd like to hear that, Lenita. That'd be really cool. Hi, Todd. Hello, Dave. Just muffled. Todd, you just muffled your microphone. Oh, no. Are we able to hear now? Do you believe Bigfoot is in Smoky Mountain? Yes, I believe they're in Smoky Mountain, but it's only belief. I have no evidence to substantiate that. Just some interesting people that have told me interesting stories. Oh, guys, I hope I stopped muffling. How did I muffle the mic? Try to hold it like this. Darn it. How long was I muffling it for? Hello, Kelly. I want to go to Florida so bad. Todd, you messed up your microphone. Oh my God, that's awful. Todd, my name is Jake. My son is Jacob. Hello again, guys. Daughter of the original. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down just because. Oh God. Oh God, that sucks. Hi from Kootenays. Hello, Kootenays. Sounds fine here. Okay, maybe I got it back. Do Bigfoot smile? Hmm. Never. I never saw it. I don't know that they do or not. It's just that they have their game faces on around me, I think. And I've never seen them look really angry. Well, Kubota seems to always look angry. I think it's just his just the way he is. I think he's just an angry looking individual. I don't want to hate on Kubota. So let me say something too today. I had somebody ask me that today. I talked to somebody about that, about how Kubota's terrifying and he's scary. He's not though. I respect Kubota. So and like Kubota tried to kidnap Ina, and maybe he's successfully kidnapped women before, and maybe you think that's awful and terrible, and maybe it is, but he's just trying to live. He has desires, he has needs. Man, Ina's beautiful. If it was 10,000 years ago, I'd bat her over the head and drag her off into the wilderness. You know what I mean? She's beautiful and strong and wonderful and intelligent. That's the kind of primordially, it's the woman that you want to procreate with, right? So, and I feel like Kubota, he's smaller than the other Sasquatch. He's just trying to make his weight. He's got to hold his chest out. He's got to stand up taller. He's got to fight a little harder to get respect because he's smaller and he's not as fast and he's not as strong, but he's still a Sasquatch. And when I say he's smaller, he's 8'4". He's probably 750 pounds. So he might be a small for a Sasquatch, but there's no human being in the whole world. There's no gorilla. There's no primate alive that he wouldn't tear into 6 different pieces like a little kid, like a rag doll. He's still a beast, and he's never harmed me. And his interactions with me, I'm happy when he's around. I'm not afraid of Kubota. I'm not. Like if Kubota wants to come around, if Kubota's the one that walks out one day and makes this discovery happen, I'm open to it. Just because he looks angry, just because he looks hostile, he's whatever. Kubota's Kubota, and I won't hate on him. I won't be afraid of him. I'm not. If Kubota came around, I wouldn't be any more afraid. I'd be just a little bit more afraid than Jacob or Jake or the big male. But I still trust him, and I send out positive vibes to Kubota and when he shows himself to me, and I'm just grateful for it. So I can't not love every individual in that troop. They're such magnificent beings. So hi Todd from Southern California. Hey SoCal, Laura, thanks for coming in. Love your ideas. Do Sasquatches know sign language? I would say absolutely not. Oh crap, can't hear. That just sucks. What the hell's going on? Where's the damn mic on this thing? I thought the mic was on the side. Like I'm not touching the sides anymore, guys. I'm just touching the top and the bottom. I wish turn on closed caption. Chimps also used sharpened sticks to kill a squirrel like creatures in the Congo. They do, and they talk about that a lot, but they don't keep it. It's not a possession. So, and the point is, if a chimpanzee picks up a stick and keeps it in his possession, and it's something he owns and is his, then that's it, man. That's sentience. They're self-aware. They have they have culture. That's how it starts, and that hasn't happened yet. So, do you think Bigfoot are here to counteract the skinwalkers? I don't know anything about skinwalkers. Actually, what I've been taught about skinwalkers are completely different from the myth that's going on with the skinwalkers. Skinwalkers are supposed to be, so my native teacher taught me, because he did this when he was younger. Make sure I hold this thing right so I'm not covering my microphone. So skinwalker, the point of that, as I was taught by my native people, my native trainers, is to really know an animal, you need to walk in its skin. You need to move around and be that being. So what they would do is they would skin an elk and put an elk hide on and horns on. They would walk around and act like an elk, and they would get so obsessed with it, they would become an elk or a bear or a mountain lion. They would totally obsess, live with it to the point where they're brainwashed into believing they're that animal, to really merge with the soul of that animal and the spirit of that animal. That's what skinwalker is supposed to be. This whole other thing that they're doing, I don't understand, and I don't pay attention to it, because from what I'm trained and from the native people that taught me, that's not real, that's not legitimate. It's bastardized, and so I just don't accept it and I stay away from it. So, time to get back out in the field, Todd? Not yet. It's minus 20 here today, and I used to do research in the winter, and now I don't. So microphone is better. That's awesome. Thank you guys. I'm so sorry about that. Please be patient. Gosh, and I appreciate your I think I see what a mic is now. I'm just I'm a director, writer, producer for Bigfoot. I do wilderness. I'm a wilderness guide, a wilderness tracker. I don't know how many hats I have to wear. I literally have to become a bike mechanic because I have electric bikes. I have to fix up my trailer. I have to like it's just on and on all the stuff that I've been. I have to learn about cameras. I have to learn about thermal imaging. I have to learn about data rates and cameras and using H.264 YouTube 1080p to download it. Like the stuff I have to learn about, it's so much, so much. So be patient with me because I'm like a jack of all, master of none. I actually feel though I am a shaman. I am a wilderness. I have a mastery level of wilderness. I teach people, man. I went up with John Bitternagel and I taught him and I taught Jeff Mel. I know they teach me stuff too because those men are brilliant. They're brilliant. But they learn a lot from me. Survivor Man learned a lot from me. And of course I learned from him. He's brilliant and he's amazing. And I don't even never know if I told him this, but like as much I'm out there and I'm teaching him everything I know that I can about about the Sasquatch and about all the discovery process and everything I've done. But I learned as much from him. Like I'm out there talking and it's all about me and learning about the Sasquatch and what I do. That's what it was about. And he still couldn't help but teach me so much every day. How he does things, how he moves, how he walks, how he tracks, how he navigates, how he looks behind him, his spirituality, his energy. I tell people, like, the old man, you sure taught Survivor Mal. You know what, though? It is 50-50. He taught me so much, taught me how to love, and he's always talking about the great things that he does. He makes the world such a better place, and I idolized him for that. I still do to this day. Like, he does what he loves. He has a wonderful, incredible life because he was brave, and he earned everything that he has, and he does everything he can to make the world a better place every day by doing what he loves. How wonderful is that? So it's amazing. So good evening, Todd. I appreciate what you do, man. Really enjoy. Thank you, Jacob. We got what's Andy? How much are Todd's expeditions? Yeah, information about expeditions. Whew, yeah, pretty much done for 2022. So it's maybe 2023 talk now. And I don't think I would book stuff for 2023 because I'm going for 2022 to have this discovery finished, like to really wrap things up or to build so much success that I just never. I'll always do expeditions with people my whole life. I'll do expeditions. I'll teach about the wilderness and Bigfoot forever, and wolves and bears and everything I know. I'll teach all this stuff. The love and passion I have, I will always teach. But it's getting harder to get out because so many people want it, and I have so many great people out there already, and I can only take so many new people. So, hello, Cranbrook. You're about as far as radium as I am. I just chose to stay in Alberta, and you're in Cranbrook. Yeah, Cranbrook is wonderful. There's Sasquatch out there. So, Jane of 2022. Yes, thank you, Lauren. Hey, Todd, you attending any conferences this year? I don't know. I don't think so, actually. Yeah, I'm too busy with expeditions, boots on the ground. No, there probably won't be anything unless I do something maybe late November or December of 22. But I'm literally booked right now all the way till the mid-November at least. So how can I go on expedition with you? Well, there was a link up that Andy had, just like 4 quotes above you, discoveringbigfoot.org. You can still apply. I don't know. You might be something. You might get people drop out sometimes. I don't know. Go apply. You never know how it's going to be. So, but take it, do the expedition page, watch the video, read all the verbiage there, and especially watch the video because my expeditions are no joke, guys. It's no joke. Play Native American music for them. I have a lot. So yeah, there's another thing about the expedition. Wild forest, wild forest horse suddenly appeared. Uh, Wild forest. Well, yeah, it was a wild horse. It was in Nordegg, and there's a big story behind how the Mustangs got out there. That's pretty cool. It's a small boy Indian reserve. They went out there a long time ago with Mustang horses, and then they let them loose after. And the Mustangs are. And there was something really cool about that horse. He was attracted to us. He kept coming around us. So he might have been partially domesticated by people. He just wanted, yeah, he just wanted us to be around. Do you think Bigfoot are here? No, Bigfoot. I don't buy the whole skinwalker thing. I told you what I think skinwalker is, what I've been taught about skinwalkers. One way to help me is not acknowledging everything they do right away. What is going on? One one way you helped me. Oh, okay, so this is Steven. Oh, okay, so he's having success. Okay, I want to hear this. This is important. One way you helped me, so my advice helped Steven, is not acknowledging everything they do right away. Yes, I did say that. You recommended that to me. I tried it and it worked. They got curious real quick when I stopped reacting to them right away. That's awesome. Good for you, Steven. What other piece of advice can I give you? Um, so this is an important piece of advice. This is some deep stuff. This is so there's something special about you, Stephen. And the only way you can find out how to go to the next level with them is by listening to your inner voice, listening to what they're telling you. Like sit down, stop. See when you sit down with your mind, even to meditate. So what we're usually doing is just thinking about things. We're putting out energy. We're putting out stuff. I'm radiating. If I calm my mind down and I get down to zero and I feel peace and serenity, like total zero, silence my mind, all those thoughts, everything quieted. Just I see nothing. I literally focus on blackness and I just feel really calm. It's like a reset button. And when you're like that, you can start feeling not just inspiration, but you can feel, you become, instead of putting out things, you start receiving, you become a receiver. So whatever it is special about you, Stephen, that they're attracted to and that they're interacting with, that is how you get to the next level. So when that stuff is happening and they're around, sit down, zero, listen to your inspiration, listen to them. But it's not that you're listening. You can't go, I'm listening, because that's now you're thinking. You have to get down to zero. Stop your mind from pushing, stop your mind from thinking, start receiving. And once you can do that, start receiving that information, call it inspiration, call it even they'll tell you what to do next. And and the way they'll communicate with you is not through words. It'll be through images, through thoughts and feelings. They don't know how to talk. But I can mind speak with my dog. By not and even that's a little bit complicated to learn how to mind speak properly. Because you just quickly you can't if I say don't think blue, you all you do is blue comes to mind. Not don't think it, it's blue. So if you want them to see blue, think blue. You can only think in positive manners. You can't think, don't come and attack me. I'm afraid of you. All they're going to think of is attack you and that you're scared of them. They don't worry about the don'ts or the can'ts or that doesn't make any sense to them. All they'll get is those images. So you just got to even just stop projecting to them. They're interacting with you because there's something special that they see in you and they're amazing. They're magnificent. My dog is like that a lot too, where people come around. If my dog doesn't like you, I don't want you around. There's something wrong with you, and she senses it, and I'm just not able to. And she's taught me that a lot. So, but just really get to zero, really be a student, really be humble, and receive. Get to zero, and then when the reception starts coming in, you'll get your inspiration to go to another level. And now what'll happen is the Sasquatch will teach you about what's special about you and how to zero. So congratulations on your success. High five. Woo! Good for you. And go to the next level, my friend. And I wish you tremendous success. Hopefully someday I would love to come get your autograph when you prove Sasquatch are real. Right? So, hey, Todd, how large do you think Bigfoot territory is? Oh, man, good question. How far do you think they will travel to find elk and deer and such? Okay, so those are really good questions. The size of their habitat is going to be based on the abundance of food there. So larger areas of habitat up here in Canada are going to be necessary because there's less food sources. When you're on the coast and you have salmon and significantly more berries, their habitats, their territories can be smaller, but they get bigger as the food sources decrease. And when it comes to your next part of your question is, how far do you think they will travel to find their elk? They don't travel anywhere to find their elk. They have their herd of elk and they follow it. In the Sasquatch troops that I saw in Idaho, Montana, British Columbia, and here in Alberta, where there are herds of elk, the Sasquatch have herds and they just treat them like they're cows and they follow them around. So they don't travel any distance, they protect them. I think that's one of the things they do tree breaks for is it ticks them off when you're messing with their elk. So nobody messes with their herds, or you're not supposed to. And that's a complicated question too. I think there have been times where I've heard of Sasquatch liking people and herding deer towards a man so we could shoot one. So and I just know that happens. So I see it. And anyways, there's lots and lots of information. And when it comes to deer, so they just know where the deer are. They have no trouble finding their deer. They get their deer. They get their bighorn sheep. They get their moose. So you're talking about beings that have never left nature. They've been there forever, like it for the history of evolution. They've been there, and they know where the moose are. They know where the elk are. They know when to get what and how to do what. Well, Sasquatch literally wakes up and goes, "I want a moose today. I'm going to go eat moose. I want a bighorn sheep. I'm going to find one, or a pronghorn, or whatever. Even a cow. You live in Montana. Let's go take a cow. Whatever. Take whatever you want." So I don't think they like cow though, because cow is not gamey, right? They like their wild meat. So, and I can really see that. So, anyways, those are really good questions. Thanks for asking. Hey, Todd, watching from Santa Cruz, California. Welcome, sir. Royal Creations, mic check. Are we good? Oh God, I hope everything's good with the mic still. I love this community. Stay safe, Todd. Everyone else, yeah, it's so important to stay safe, right? That's my thing this year, is making sure everybody stays real safe. Where in Washington State is the best place to possibly spot one? Gosh, Washington is so amazing. I want to answer that question for you. Just let me think how I can explain that. I feel that needs a good response. The best place to go is the best place you're comfortable with, and you have your own journey to go on. So I wouldn't want to. I would want to find my own journey. I would want to, like, I hope that my documentary is enough. I hope that the information I'm teaching is enough for you to go find breaks, find tracks, find structures, find your own area, and just go wilderness looking and look for tree breaks and tracks and stuff, and then just build off of it. Don't worry about anybody else. Maybe, look for a place, but just it's got to be realistic to you, where you don't want to go find some spot 6 hours from where you live. You want to find something in your backyard, ideally, right? Or, a colleague that you're going to work with's backyard. So you want to find something that's close so you can really spend time at, and work it. And so that would be my advice is, and then something that's a place that's special to you, a place that's beautiful. Radium is beautiful. I take people out there and they just lose their mind. James is putting stuff up on Facebook, like beautiful videos. Like Kyle from New York, just like my heart, because Kyle, loves New York State, loves the Adirondacks. He's seen a lot of wilderness stuff, and he told me that is the most beautiful. Radium, where I took him, is his favorite, most beautiful place in the whole world. Like, I was touched by that. To hear him say that was wonderful, and it is. It's beautiful, and I'm honored to take people there. It's just such a beautiful, magnificent, amazing, fantastic place. It's gorgeous there, and I love it. And that helps me with discovery, because I move around loving the place. I move around in joy, and I have passion, and that's what you need to find, is a place that's amazing and spectacular to you, and love it. Find something that's your own style, your own thing. Let it grow on you, right? Become indigenous. So part two one day. You mean part two of discovering Bigfoot? Yes, absolutely. Have you seen a dog man? No, I don't believe there is such a thing as a dog man. Is that nice? I've never seen any evidence to substantiate there's a species referred to as the dog man. I know nothing about them. They could exist, but I know nothing. So I shouldn't say I don't think there is such a thing. That's not an appropriate thing to say. I just don't have any evidence, and I've never heard a story and seen any evidence to make me think that there is something like that. Hello from Texas. Man, I got a lot of stuff going from Texas. So two Texans just signed up for an expedition. Shout out to you, Logan and Keaton. Because Logan, well, everybody should know Logan. Logan's in the video. Logan and Craig, and this year it's Logan is coming out with Keaton. They're both from Texas, and I'm very excited about it. Todd, do Bigfoot and bears compete against each other for food? Nah. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. It wouldn't be a competition though. The Sasquatch are just going to own it. Sasquatch are the boss. Sasquatch kick bear's ass. Sasquatch are the apex species by far. They know bear jujitsu. They whoop a bear's ass. I've seen evidence of that many times, and they're just amazing. They're just so strong and impressive and amazing. They just whoop a bear's ass big time. So so I guess not ultimately. Like is you know, just no. I don't know how to explain it. Like the Sasquatch are just higher up on the food chain. They're just, it's like great white sharks don't compete with, or do they compete with smaller sharks? I suppose there would be some. I could see bears eating berries in areas Sasquatch eat berries, but I don't know. I just Sasquatch are way up the list, right? Mount St. Helens or any mountain with forest in Washington. That's a response to the gentleman asking about Washington State is so amazing. I don't know it well enough. I haven't been there enough. My knowledge of it is very superficial. Thank you, Todd Standing, for the surprise treat to hear from you and learn from you live. Thank you for all you teach about us. Great, amazing, interesting sounds. Thank you so much, Leonard. You're welcome. Thank you for the compliment, and you're welcome. Our dogman allied with Egypt. I don't know anything about that. Aliens and stuff like that. It's not my area. Cranbrook, BC is here on the weekend. Cool. Picture out. Rest in peace. Hey Todd, any comments on the Melba Ketchum DNA study? That's that's Adrian Erickson stuff. So he paid for it. He got the DNA. He doesn't get any credit for it. That kind of bothers me. Todd, did Les Stroud get the entire story of the night being cornered by four Sasquatch and being picked up and taken? I don't know. At the time when I was working with Les, I actually showed Les that footage. I hated that footage. I'm at peace with it now, but I hated that footage. I was very ashamed of it. So I don't know. What happens is, oh crap, I feel like I have to cough. What happens is you become comfortable talking about things and opening up. And people pick at me, or not pick at me, but people ask and what happened after this, what happened after that. And so if he didn't ask, if he didn't push for what happened after the flare, what happened here, if he didn't push, I didn't ask, I didn't answer. And eventually someone did. Someone kept saying, and now I'm comfortable talking about it because people kept pushing me. What happened after the flare went out? And then what happened after that? Oh my God, this happened. What happened after that? So, yeah, until I'm kind of pried upon, and I was working on coming out. I'm evolving. I'm changing, right? I'm learning to be more open. I'm learning to talk more openly. So I evolve and change too. Absolutely. From the beginning, I was, gosh, all the way up to video 5 till I almost died. So like was so close to death for video 5 that I just came back and my family and I just said, you can't do this alone anymore. You've got to start cooperating with people. You've got to not do this alone anymore. And I do most of my work with other people now. I'm very rarely alone. And, that just, I've changed so much. I do so much different. I change, I evolve, I grow. You have to grow, you have to change. So so there's always more evolution. There's lots of stuff I haven't talked about. So much things that I'll never talk about, things that are so personal to me. Like I have my own relationship with the wilderness. I've made promises to the earth and the great spirit and to what some people call God, what I call the universe. I've made promises that I intend to keep. It's just between me and the universe and God, or whatever you want to call it, the great spirit. So I make promises to do this, and it's important to move like that, I think, because if you give me this, I promise to use it in this way. Like as an example, my footage of Sasquatch video 2 and 3. So I met my native teacher, and he's like, man, you could do a lot of harm with this. What's your purpose? So we talked about that. I was confused about purpose and why do I have to have a purpose? I was pretty, a little naive and young about things. He explained it to me, and then I started to, and I went away and I thought about it. I came back. I go, my purpose is the truth and to help this discovery move forward with integrity. So I decided, and I promised myself that I would always use that footage for the benefit of Sasquatch. Sasquatch are responsible and gave me that footage, I feel, and or the universe gave me that footage, and I promised to only do good with it and never to use that footage in a way that could harm the species and not about me. So I used it for species protection. I worked hard for that, and it mattered to me. And there have been many other cases like that too, where I just like, even right now, I go out there with the intent of the world needs help, and I want to, the Sasquatch can help them, and we want that help. We all want that help. We're all together. We're a symbiotic we're symbiotic species. We can destroy this planet and we can destroy the environment, and they're part of the environment. So we need to. I want them to come out. I want them to reveal themselves, and I want to do it for all the right reasons. That's my promise to the Sasquatch: is always be good and always show integrity and honor in moving this discovery forward. That's my promise to them, and that's my purpose, sort of in a nutshell. There's obviously it's deeper than that, but yeah. So I wanna help people, and the Sasquatch want to teach about wilderness. I want to teach about the wilderness, have people reconnect with the wilderness. So all these things are I could probably write a little paragraph. This is just off the cusp, but it'll be very clear to me when I'm out there. It all makes sense to me, and I move that purpose, and the Sasquatch understand me and get what I'm all about, understand why I'm there, and then I get my success. Or not. If my purpose is not worthy, then you don't get it. But my purpose is worthy. It's been working. We're getting significant, incredible results. I couldn't be happier. So that's the live show for today, guys. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, how many questions were down here? So I'm just scrolling like, oh my goodness. Hundreds of questions still. You guys are awesome. So wow, like just randomly. So Ben, I just scrolled down for like 5 minutes. Why in your video 4 does the Sasquatch literally have no facial muscles? I talked about that many times. I'll talk about it real quickly again. And I don't like the way you're asking the question with the big highlight. Just be normal about it. She knows I'm there. If you ever saw a deer looking down at wolves, do a deer look down at wolves and go, la 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 la? They don't. And I never really filmed her for more than 40 seconds, I don't think, before water dropped and splattered on my camera. So I was having a hell of a time getting footage because water was splattering on my camera because the tree was covered in snow and it was melting. So there's water dripping down like crazy. And I was trying to cover it and stop it, but a big piece would fall and splatter. So it was making a mess. So that's why the footage is never more than 45 seconds. I always cut out right before the splatter. And then she was looking for me. She knew I was down there. And she was looking down that hill like this, going, where are you? When you're looking down the hill, when you're sneakily looking down a spot, are you like blinking and chilling out, moving your face around? No, you're not. You freeze up, you move and you look. This is what she was doing. Are you over there? Are you over here? That's what she was doing. So I hope that helps you understand. And yeah, thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. Watch Throwback Thursday tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. So it's a very interesting photo. And I'm going to make a proposition to people. So I want that. I'm going to make a proposition tomorrow for people about this photograph because I really want to share it. I'm very interested in more analysis of it, and it'll be interesting. It's not some. Remember, I don't put out photographs, or I didn't in the past put out photographs that weren't amazing and fantastic. This one's not amazing. It's not fantastic. It's interesting. I know it's a Sasquatch, but you can have a look at it and see that photo tomorrow. That's the reward I'm saying to all you all for tuning in today and being supporters. I'm so grateful for all you people. How cool is it to just be able to, this is my thumb just scrolling through the hundreds and hundreds of questions that are down here. I just love, guys, that you have all the support. Todd, do you think man will be the death of Bigfoot? Oh, that's Kelly. I'm supposed to end the show. Scroll down 6 times and there's Kelly. Absolutely not, Kelly. I wouldn't be moving forward with this discovery if I didn't know that this was in the best interest. I know there's going to be difficulties. I know it's going to be hardships. I know there's going to be problems, but it'll get better. And this discovery will only improve the situation. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about this discovery. I'm very passionate about it, and I know it's going to come to fruition. So take care, guys. I'm going to start doing more stuff. Like, I can't just let all these questions just sit. Like, look at this. I don't even know where the bottom of it is. Like, there's just, look at that. Hundreds of questions. I got to start doing something where I can answer more of these questions because I love that you guys are all out here in support. So I'll think of something to do. There's got to be something I could do to get through these questions better. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back next Wednesday for sure. Throwback Thursday is tomorrow, where I put up a photograph from a couple years ago. And then Sasquatch Sunday will be amazing. I'm really excited about it. So keep watching. Stay tuned. We've got some incredible stuff happening. Thank you so much for your support. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.